Have you ever felt completely stuck? Like no matter how hard you push, nothing changes? Maybe you're stuck in a job you hate, unable to move forward, or caught up in a cycle of procrastination and avoidance. What if I told you the way out isn't to push harder, but to stop fighting altogether? To surrender, take stock of where you are, and chart a new path forward. Today I'm going to share what I've learned about the power of surrender, not as a sign of weakness, but as a first step to real, meaningful change in your life. From this understanding, surrendering in this way is what you have to do in order to get anything done at all. And by bringing your attention to it, my goal is that it'll speed up your process to getting the real worthwhile things done in your life. I can't overstate how much it's helped me move from frustration to clarity and finally to action. Now I'm going to break this down into the following sections. Why surrender is necessary, so that you're on the same page as I am as to why this is an integral part of daily life. How to surrender. I'll go over exactly how to integrate this concept by giving you a few tips that you can employ when the need arises. And then what happens when you surrender, to give you an overall image as to why this is so beneficial and should be a way for you to start looking at your life. Why surrender is necessary. Before we start, I want you to realize that this applies to all things in life. Maybe you're working a job you hate, dreaming of something better. Or maybe a relationship fell apart and you can't move forward because you're still stuck on what could have been. But just to try to simplify my explanation, let me walk you through something we've all experienced. Picture this. You have a paper to write, whether for work or for school, and the deadline is looming. The cursor just blinks back at you, almost mocking you. Nothing comes to mind, and a moment later, you find yourself scrolling on your phone, switching tabs, or doing some busy work that feels productive but really isn't the priority right now. You might tell yourself you're not in the right headspace yet. You'll do it later when you feel motivated, but hours pass and still nothing. You're not just procrastinating, you're running from reality. You're avoiding the fact that the paper has to be done and it has to be done by you. It's hard and it's uncomfortable. You might even be stopping yourself from writing because your idea of what you could write is actually so good, but it's unclear how you bridge the gap from a blank paper to that full, perfect paper. So you just avoid starting entirely in order to avoid facing the fact that this paper likely won't be as perfect as you imagine it could be. But here's the thing. The longer you wait, the harder you make it to get as close as possible to that perfect idea you have in your head. That paper isn't going to write itself, no matter how long you wait. Reality is limited, and by staying in that world of imagination without surrendering to reality, you are stopping yourself from making your imagination a reality. Surrender means stopping the fight. It means sitting down, accepting the challenge, embracing the moment, and saying, "This is what I have to do right now." It's about letting go of resistance and focusing on what's in front of you. There are many examples where this applies other than writing a piece of paper. So many that it's hard for me to choose one that will really help you get a grasp of the range of this technique. But it's not really a technique because in order to get anything done at all, you have to do it. No matter what, you have to do it now in the moment. You have to bring yourself to surrender regardless. But becoming aware of it is the key to getting to surrender faster. Here's my favorite example that's analogous to any situation. Imagine you have your goal, the place you want to be, the situation you want to create. The goal is a dot on the map. It's the destination you want to arrive at. Having a map is great. It shows you all the possible ways to get to where you're headed. But in order to plot your course and start walking it, you need to come to terms with exactly where you're starting out. And you have to start from there. There's no way you'll get to your target destination without acknowledging where you are now. Without surrendering to the moment, to the reality, you're just going to be wandering with your fingers crossed, hoping to reach the destination. So you have to accept where you are to step forward effectively towards your goal, whatever that might be. So that can apply on a small scale or the large scale goal of your life. Even when I put it that way, I almost feel like it's not enough. But I hope you see the scope of this, technique. All right. You have to surrender to whatever you're doing. Stop resisting the the moment. What is surrender? To surrender isn't to accept misfortune or say that you're going to do nothing to change your situation. Surrender is total acceptance, forgiveness of yourself and all the circumstances that led you here. It's an unburdening of these emotions, of the effort it takes to be in denial of reality. From this unburdened place, you're free to head in the direction you choose intentionally. Surrender is a portal to the present moment, the only time and place where everything is happening. It's from here that you can see where you are, where you want to go, and plot out your path towards that direction. It's only from the present moment that you can make real change. Surrender is the simple but profound wisdom of yielding to rather than opposing the flow of life. How to surrender? Ask yourself this. What's standing in the way between you and the present moment? Are you resentful towards the person or situation that put you here? Are you feeling so behind that you don't even think it's worth trying anymore? Surrender to the facts that you're facing. Those people did what they did. You did what you did. Things happened the way they happened. And now you're here. Nowhere else. Whatever the present moment contains, accept it as if you had chosen it. Always work with it, not against it. So don't waste your time fantasizing about how things could have been different. Surrender. Stop fighting against the things you can't change. Other people's actions, your past, where these actions have brought you in this present moment. Accept the moment. Accept the fact that you're here. Accept that there's things beyond your control. In doing so, you can see which things are actually in your control. You see the cards you're dealt and the ones you can play. You see where you are on the map. You can begin plotting your route to your destination, and you can take that first step. And then you have to forgive. Don't fall back into the patterns of resistance and resent, or get stuck in your fantasies and wishes about what could have been or how much easier this could be. Forgive the people, the situations, and most importantly, yourself. What happens when you surrender? When you surrender, you face your limitations and you carry on with what's in your control. Only by being aware of what you really have control over can you begin to create the life that you want to see. You'll find that no matter how limited our reach may be in the grand scheme of things, that by taking an honest look at what you can and can't control, you have more power than you would have imagined. You're no longer wasting energy resisting or wishing things were different. You're fully present, and that gives you clarity and focus. Then, that first step you take towards that goal, no matter how small, leads to another, and then another. You write one sentence, and then a paragraph, and then suddenly you're in the flow. Surrender creates the space for progress to happen. So here's what I want you to do. Next time you feel stuck, whether it's a task, a relationship, or any situation that's causing you stress, stop. Take a moment to notice what you're resisting. What are you fighting against? What reality are you refusing to accept? And then practice surrendering. Accept where you are right now. Forgive what's brought you here. And from that place of acceptance, take one small step forward. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be real. Remember, surrendering is not about giving up. It's about showing up. It's about being present enough to see things as they are so that you can do something about it. Try this today. Pick one thing you've been avoiding or resisting and practice surrender. You might be surprised at how much easier it is to move forward once you stop fighting against where you are. What's one thing you need to surrender to? Let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. If you found this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this. I'm here to share a realistic, gentle approach to genuine growth, where we embrace the present moment and take steps to actualize our best lives.